Please be seated. Good afternoon. I'm Frances Sanders, the Vice President of Institutional Effectiveness, representing Pedro Leite, our Vice President of Academic and Student Affairs and Dean of the College at Donnelly. Unfortunately, Pedro could not be here today. On behalf of the Board of Directors, our faculty, and our staff, I welcome you and thank you for joining us as we celebrate Donnelly College's 2016 commencement ceremony. Since 1949, Donnelly has continued a proud tradition of providing outstanding higher education in the heart of Kansas City, Kansas, to outstanding students. Please join me in welcoming the President of Donnelly College, Monsignor Stuart Swetland.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Donnelly College's 66th commencement. Many call this celebration a graduation, and so it is. It is a celebration of our wonderful graduates' outstanding achievements. But formally, and importantly, it is entitled a commencement, for today marks your entry into a life well lived, a life of ongoing education and formation. Thus, to the students celebrating your achievement in education, this important step along your educational pilgrimage, we offer you our sincere congratulations. To the friends and families of this year's graduating class, thank you for your enduring support. And to the faculty and staff, thank you for the time and effort that you have constantly given these graduates. Your efforts is what makes a Donnelly education unsurpassed in its ability to transform. I would like to introduce to you our honored guests on the platform today. First, the Most Reverend Joseph Naumann, Archbishop of Kansas City in Kansas. Of course, Frances Saunders, who you already heard her introduce herself. And then next to her is Sister Ann Shepard, the Prioress of Mount St. Scholastica. Next to Sister is Mr. Dick Flanagan, the Chairman of Donnelly's Board of Directors. Next to Mr. Flanagan is our commencement speaker, Javier Palomares. He will be our honored speaker today. Whoops, I got the order wrong. I'm sorry. Javier is at the end. I'm looking into lights and I'm having trouble seeing, so you'll just have to bear with me a little. We have with us also next to Javier, changing my order here a little bit, it's Dr. Cynthia Lane, the Superintendent of Kansas City, Kansas Public Schools. And next to her is Dr. Wynn, the Board Representatives for Kansas City, Kansas Public Schools. Now, it is my honor as president to take a moment to say a few words about the students and their accomplishments that we are celebrating today. 4 years ago, we embarked on a new journey with the Kansas City, Kansas Public Schools to offer an alternative high school graduation program focused on dual credit called Gateway to College. This year, we honor our second group of graduates of this program, and we are proud to say that all 4 are continuing their education in post-secondary programs, and that 2 are continuing their academic path at Donnelly College in the fall. Congratulations. Next, we offer our congratulations to those who have completed the preparatory education program, a program focused on strengthening students' reading and writing skills to actively engage in college-level coursework. This year, 26 students have successfully completed that course of study to enroll in college-level courses. Congratulations. Many students get their start at Donnelly College by mastering English as an additional language to their native tongue, taking classes at various levels to strengthen their conversation, reading, and composition skills. 13 students have passed the rigorous assessment into college-level courses this year. Congratulations. In the area of nursing, we this afternoon earlier honored 13 students with their pinning ceremony to recognize their entry into the practical nursing profession. And this afternoon at this ceremony, we will honor some representatives from that class as they will graduate with their academic certificates for having completed the practical nursing coursework. Congratulations. Within the associate degree program, we will award 37 students with their Associates of Art, Science, or Applied Science for successful completion of those programs during this past academic year. Congratulations. And finally, we will present bachelor's degrees to 7 students who have completed their upper-level coursework in organizational leadership, elementary education, information systems, and technology. Congratulations. I now invite to the podium Sister Ann Shepard, who will lead us with our invocation. Please stand.
All-powerful and loving God, we thank you for bringing us to this joyful day. Shower your blessings on all who have made it possible. Generous and loving families, self-sacrificing teachers, staff, and administration, supportive friends, all those who have gone before us to make Donnelly College what it is. Most of all, we ask your blessing on today's graduates. Fill them with the spiritual gifts and wisdom of the gospel of Jesus Christ and the rule of Saint Benedict. May they always listen with the ear of their hearts. May they run on the way of God's commandments. May they welcome Christ in every guest, especially the poor and the vulnerable. May they be patient in suffering, confident that those who share in the sufferings of Christ also share in his glory. May they seek peace and pursue it. May their lives be characterized by that good zeal, which, when warmed by love, always seeks the good of others. And may they love Christ above all. We ask this in the name of God, our Creator, Jesus, our Redeemer, and the Spirit of everlasting love. Amen.
Amen.
Please be seated. At this time, I have the honor, and I would like to introduce our first student speaker, Austin Garrett, who's receiving his associate degree today. Austin.
Thank you very much. Probably should have got the speech on my back pocket before. All right. So, brothers and sisters, we are gathered here today. No, just that's a different speech. All right. So, on a real note, first and foremost, it's an honor to be speaking before you today. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, throughout my education, I never expected to be given a graduation ceremony speech, especially at a college. But, it's an honor. I mean, that's why I guess, I consider Donnelly kind of the land of opportunity. things that you do here at Donnelly, or at Donnelly rather, it doesn't really go unnoticed. And then the fact of the matter is that people actually do like tell you when you're doing a good job at something and when you're actually, actually excelling in what they want you to do. For the students, I wanted to read just a quick quote from Winston Churchill. He noted that a pessimist sees the difficulty in every opportunity, and an optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty. College is seen as being very difficult. It's seen as something that we always have to constantly study, take tests. But the thing about it is we've always stuck through it, and that's why we end up here today getting our degrees, our associates, our bachelors. And it's always nice because, once you go out into the world and you have that degree, they say that it earns you about, I think, $500,000 more per degree that you have. So, you're a lot richer now. Not now, unless if you look at my bank account, I'm surely not much more richer, but I'll be there one day. But like I said, there's a lot of great opportunities that Donnelly has provided me and made my path a lot easier. When I first got to Donnelly, when I was just kind of walking down the hallways and I asked one person in particular, Sydney Beeler, I said, "Who do you know and how can you help me?" And next thing you know, she set me up with donors that completely paid for my schooling. I had nothing to worry about, and that was kind of nice. There was a lot of people who have that opportunity. Even when I started slipping up, there was people there to pick me up, such as, the admissions representatives like Humberto or Jorge or Tara. But also, like, other ways that Donnelly was nice was that those events like Shine and events kind of like the donor dinner, which allowed you to speak to like hundreds of people in different careers and kind of helped you out as far as setting yourself up. They pretty much put all the opportunities at your feet. All you had to do was, pick up a fork and eat off the plate that they were giving to you. So the possibilities seemed like, unlimited. And if it wasn't for the connections that guided you, it was the teachers and staff members. Now there's too many teachers that I can mention about, as far as what the fun times that we've had. One person in particular is David Cobb. If anybody ever took his class, you already know the deal. He was always interesting. He kind of always said, things like, his jokes were kind of bad. I ain't gonna lie. But I like the effort. I did always kind of look up to him, even though I was a little taller than him. Pretty sure I got that one off from him, and he got it off Google. But it was good, though. There was he would kind of say, "Oh, bother," everybody knows that one, If I go up to him, because he already knows I ask the most questions during quizzes and tests, he would be like, yes and no. And I'm like, bro, that don't make no sense. You can't be a yes and a no. But those other people like Dee Dee, which she made sure that I stayed on top of my game. Of course, I never, kind of really tried all too much to kind of get my act together. Even Jordan told me that I need to set up appointments more with emails, but I never, of course, listened. But Dee Dee would help me with creating mails. Even when I created that, and some of the people who started that left, she made sure that she remained dedicated to the group's success. Another person was Mike in the financial aid office. He practically filled out my taxes for me. I asked him so many questions, kept asking him about different things, even for other people. One person I do have to kind of say sorry to, actually, I know I mentioned it, it's the registrar's office. I'm not gonna lie, if somebody called me for a question and I didn't know the answer, no matter what it was, I just sent them to you guys, so. But I can say that now. I hope I can still get my degree. Actually, probably should have waited. But other people were the admissions office, like Tara, Jorge, Humberto, Megan. Every single time I walk through the doors, I would always act like I'm dunking on the little ceiling, and that's probably as close as I'm gonna get to a rim. But they always never passed judgment. They were always there for support. Even though they saw me doing some stuff ridiculous all the time, which by the way, healthcare, for the admissions people, assistance, that wouldn't be half bad. I ain't saying too much though. I ain't trying to be a mouse asking for some cookies and milk. But it was nice though. It was really nice. Like there were so many teachers. Like I, left to think like I can't go without Father John. My boy. A couple things I could say. Because they did say that I could say anything. One is Latin, bro. Nobody understands it. We got all these races and nobody still understands Latin, and we hear it every day. But there was another thing also is Jim also, for my paper. I think that was a pretty good source to use. I know he wasn't in the book, but he was, I'm trying to think outside the box. But other people were like Stengler and Linos. Stengler was incredible. English was one thing I didn't like because I always thought I had to read, and I didn't really like reading. I can read, let me just say that. I'm reading my notes. But I didn't like to. And he kind of like asked me, why do you like to write but not read? And that kind of got me thinking like, I guess that don't make sense. But the thing is he helped me, he said, you should start a book and whatnot. And he helped me actually start writing that, sending it to him. And so there was a lot of good things that came from taking his class, and also Leno. So when I sent it to her, she was quick to give me back responses. And so they kind of, like I said, Donnelly was like land of opportunity in the fact that when you wanted to do something, it was actually going to get done. And you can have the support there necessary for it. There was a lot of people, students. It was funny if you walk through the hallways almost every day, somebody's like, hey, bro, did you study for that quiz? And I'm like, bro, what quiz, bro? And they'd be like, oh, did you do that homework? And I'm like, yeah, what pages were they? But it was like everybody kind of had each other's backs, especially for Father John's class. When that morning of, you couldn't even get a seat in the admissions because everybody was studying for it. But it was cool. It was really nice because you always had somewhere to go to. And the final person that I'd like to mention was, even though she ain't a teacher or anything, but was Gabrielle Bash. I almost give her some credit for the grades I got because, after Father John said something, I go to him like, well, what does she even mean? What do you mean? Give me some tips on this. She was always there. She always knew, my class is almost better than me. And she was like, it was incredible. I could always go to her and ask her for help, and she would always be there, openly to help me. But, time is kind of eluding me. It's just kind of another example of how time kind of slips away. It's going to be crazy because, a lot of the people that I've seen throughout the halls every day is going to be going off to different places. I ain't usually emotional. I ain't trying to cry, bro, but it's going to be nice. There was so many people I saw every day. It was incredible. They made the day better. You could always go there in the afternoon. They'd be sitting there talking, saying some stuff. I'd say something stupid, and they just kind of probably laugh, even though they didn't mean to or didn't want to. But the thing is, life is a battle, but you always have people there that can help you out. And that's why I, kind of realized at Donnelly. And now we have connections, amongst ourselves. We got, BSNs in the building, like Alejandra and whatnot. We got people teachers, like Martha and, of course, Miguel and all them. We got engineers, we got mechanics, we got doctors, we got just every sort of person out here that you know now because you came to Donnelly. So I'll leave you with one question, of course, as you continue your journey. Are you pessimists, or those that see difficulty in the opportunity, or are you optimists and see the opportunity in every difficulty? And last but not least, congrats, 2016 graduation class.
Thank you, Austin. At this time, I will introduce and ask to come up Denise Suarez Gomez. So Denise, will you come up?
I needed some water too, so I asked my sister, and thank you for allowing me to have some water before speaking. Good afternoon to the faculty, our trustees, and of course our families, and the class of 2016. Yesterday's service reminded me of how blessed we are to be here at Donnelly. I want to start off with how I was led to Donnelly. After graduating from Johnson County Community College, I was looking for a school to finish my undergrad. And honestly, it was a difficult time. I wasn't able to truly feel that connection with any of the programs that I was seeking. I went to UMKC to speak to their education department. I went to different schools, and I didn't feel that connection that I needed in order to pursue my undergrad at that school. And so at that time, I was working at my church and thinking about where I needed to go. I was in a storm, not knowing what school I should attend, because of course, just like you guys, graduating with your associates, it's hard to figure out what you're gonna do afterwards, right? It is. And I was there, and I had to take a couple more semesters of classes and then to finally find a school that would open the doors. But the school that opened the doors to me was there because of one individual, and that person was an individual from church. And it's incredible how the Lord allows you and places you where you need to be in order for you to fulfill your dreams. And so for me, it was a lady from church who allowed me to pursue and look into more information at Donnelly. And so when I started looking into Donnelly, I really wasn't sure who to talk to, and so I just set up an appointment, and thankfully the doors opened, and Kathleen was there to receive me, and she was there throughout my whole semester at JUCO. I think I came in November trying to pursue and look about getting into the program here at Donnelly, and she was the one who allowed me to actually start in January of 2014. And I feel like Donnelly is a place for anyone. I don't come from the Kansas City, Kansas community. I come from Johnson County, but the doors are still open. There is a school in this area that's willing to take us and grow us and allow us to be who we can be in order to fulfill what we need to do in this world. So anxiously waiting for a school and living in a storm of feelings and somewhat of negativity, a signal showed me a way to this school. As I was searching, I was feeling that, should I give up? Should I just finish with my associates? And I decided not to. I found Donnelly, and again, it gave me that sense of hope, that sense of opportunity to finish my degree. And since the first day I came to this school, I realized that people that surrounded me were there to support me during a time that I needed guidance. Not only did this school open their doors for me during a hard time, but it was the lighthouse that I needed to feel a sense of joy during a time of turbulence. I know a lot of you guys, again, can relate. And for me, Donnelly is the lighthouse in this community. Without this school, many of us wouldn't be achieving our dreams. So I thank everyone who contributes to this institution of hope. This school carried out its mission with me. They enlightened me. They gave me the opportunity to achieve my dream of becoming a teacher. Not only did they help me to become a teacher, but to open my eyes to the need of this community. I knew since high school that I wanted to serve the underserved of this community, but I thought that I needed to go to a third world country to do that. But the Lord had other plans for me. And he showed me that there were people who were being underserved here in our community, in the country that we live in. I honestly couldn't believe how many of my students lived. I have gone to their homes, and I have seen how much struggle it is for parents to put food on their table. And this helps me to keep fighting for our children who are underserved. To me, Donnelly is bringing the light to this community, the minority community, by empowering the individuals to be the light for others. Us as teachers will bring the light to our students. Us as nurses will bring the light to your community. Through every degree, as leaders, we will bring the light to our community. Through every degree and profession, we can carry out an act of service in our community. And Donnelly, to me, again, was the lighthouse. It brought light to my life during my storm. So I thank you with all my heart. And lastly, I want to share with you this quote: "A lighthouse is like a guardian angel. The lighthouse standing out hope in the light." A lighthouse is like a guardian angel. The lighthouse stands sending out hope in the night, like a faithful friend reaching out a hand and bringing comfort, truth, and light to one. And let's not forget, you have to find what sparks a light in you so that you, in your own way, can illuminate the world to be the lighthouse for them. So again, I thank our faculty, our Archbishop, the Archdiocese of Kansas City, Kansas, our parents, our friends, anyone who is here to support us, anyone who is here to inspire us to dream and to fulfill this dream that we've had. And again, this is not the end. We still have a lot more to go. And I know I believe in every single one of us to fulfill what we're entitled to. And we're entitled to come to this world and serve our community. And I hope each and every one of us does that with the joy and the love that we were given here at Donnelly through our faculty, and bring that to our community, because that's what our world needs, right? Amen. And sorry, this morning as I was gathering and closing up my speech, I decided that the best way to reflect on how this school, or just reflect on everything that they've done for me, I decided to listen to some music, and there was a song that was called My Lighthouse, and I would like everyone to go out and hopefully listen to that song, because it has a great message for each and every one of us. Not only that, but I decided to give a little thank you to, And again, to me, Donnelly was the lighthouse in my life, and I just want to thank you for being the light during my storm.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Father John will be very happy to know there's a little boat with a boy in it here for St. Augustine. So.
Thank you.
Thank you both. May we be light. May we live up to what you're suggesting also, that we be ourselves, that we be real, that we thank everybody in the world. I mean, I think we need to do that, but I am just so grateful to both of you. I want you to know that you two represent why the board of directors and the Archdiocese and the Benedictine sisters and the communities work for Donnelly. It's because of you and because of the caliber of people that we have just heard. So thank you so much.
One of the privileges that a college president gets is every once in a while, is honored to be able to bestow, is recognizing faculty who have fought the good fight and have served and are ready now to enter that esteemed highest rank of faculty, faculty emeriti. This year we have 2 faculty who are entering this status. First, I ask to please stand Dr. Steve Jensen. Dr. Jensen was born in Marshall, Minnesota in October of 1949, the year that Donnelly was founded. He graduated in the last class to be held at Central Catholic High School in 1967. He says there's no causality between his graduation and the school closing. And he graduated in the first class of Southwest Minnesota State College in 1971. In April of '72, he entered his first vocation, that of husband, when he married Kathy Salford. He received his Master of Arts in History from the University of California in 1974 and his PhD in History from the University of Kansas in 1985. From 1979 until 2001, he was director of the Watkins Community Museum of History in Lawrence, Kansas. His career at Donnelly began in 2005 when he accepted a position as an instructor, indeed the lead instructor, of our prison education program. Last year, he was named the director of prison programming at Donnelly College. As professor emeritus, he will honor us by continuing to play an active role in our prison ministry and education program. Dr. Jensen, congratulations.
Thank you for the honor.
Next, Karen Judy. Please rise. Karen Judy graduated from the University of Missouri, Kansas City in May of 1986 with degrees in the biological sciences and secondary education. She then graduated with a master's in science in 1995. In 1990, she accepted a full-time faculty position at Donnelly College. During her tenure, she has been an advisor to our nursing students, department chair for the natural sciences, our honors program advisor to the Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society. She was a member of our AQUIP accreditation process, and in 2014 received the Kansas Independent College Association's Faculty of Distinction Award. I could go on and talk about all the grants that she has helped us with, both in receiving and in executing. But I have the privilege to say every year I ask the graduates when I meet with them in their exit interviews what were their favorite classes. And I usually ask for 3. And your classes are always in that top 3. So I cannot think of a person in this country more deserving of the status of Professor Emerita than you are. Please come up.
Thank you, thank you. Chairman Flanagan will now recognize the Donnelly College Delta Award winner.
All right, folks, good afternoon. This is actually the day we look most forward to as folks who play a role here at Donnelly on the board of directors. To see the families, the friends, and all the folks that helped to get you here it kind of makes it all worthwhile. And so our congratulations from the board and all the folks in the community that look forward to your service. And I really want to thank, what I think set apart our two speeches today for Austin and Denise was the way they call out individuals. So while there is an institution here that supports them, I think it's so great that they called out the faculty and the staff and many others. So my thanks to all of you from behalf of the board for all that you've done for these young men and women. So we really appreciate it. Thank you. So each year at graduation, we present the Delta Award to an individual whose contributions to the community embody the mission, spirit, and values of Donnelly College. As many of you know, although we don't talk about very often, is that the Greek letter D, or delta, is the universal symbol for change. The Delta Award is aptly named to recognize the work of someone who has transformed people, places, and spirits. Further, the Delta Award pays tribute to the college's Catholic faith in the Holy Trinity, and recognizing that faith motivates our service to others. This year's award winner, Chuck Allen, represents those values in the finest way possible. Chuck grew up in Wyandotte County. He attended Washington High School and then graduated from Kansas State University with a degree in education, earning an outstanding undergraduate award from the College of Education. He taught in the Blue Valley School District before deciding to start an organization to serve young people in need. So a great example for our young people here today of someone really taking up that mantle of responsibility and serving the community. He's the founder and director of the Urban Scholastic Center. He wanted to do something to prepare children to be successful in the community, and he's dedicated his life to serving the youth, developing good Christian leaders for them. Over the years, Allen's drive to serve youth has paired him with countless organizations, including the National Center for Fathering, Youth Front, and the Hillview Church of God. Under his direction, the Urban Scholastic Center has earned the prestigious National Christian Foundation's Passion Award 4 times for the life-changing programs it provides. Unfortunately, Chuck could not be present today to receive this award. The award was given at our Alumni Hall of Fame award on the night of April 28th, and it was great to see him here, joined by his family and friends. So we will take back to him a hearty round of applause, if you would, for Chuck. Thank you. So now some fun. Not that Chuck's award wasn't fun, okay? That was a great honor for Chuck and really represents a lot about Donnelly. But I think you're in for an inspirational and exciting commencement speech here by our outside speaker. And I'd like to take a few minutes to introduce him. Truly a man of tremendous accomplishment, and one that I know you'll enjoy hearing from here in just a few moments. So it's my pleasure to introduce Javier Palomares, the President and CEO of the United States Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, the USHCC, America's largest Hispanic business association. The USHCC actively promotes the economic growth development interests of more than 4.1 million Hispanic-owned businesses that combined contribute over $661 billion to the American economy. Just an incredible, incredible contribution. It also advocates on behalf of 260 major American corporations and serves as the umbrella organization for more than 200 local chambers and business associations nationwide. As some of you may know, Javier is a thought leader on issues such as the American economy, small business, diversity, the multicultural market, and the Hispanic business community. Most recently, he has served as host of the USHCC Presidential Candidates Q&A series, sitting down with leading contenders from both parties, including Hillary Clinton, Jeb Bush, Bernie Sanders, Ted Cruz, Martin O'Malley, and John Kasich. That alone should be interesting to hear about if we got nothing else today. So very current, obviously, and with some of the major leaders here in our country. He's a frequent guest on CNN, MSNBC, Fox, and even Al Jazeera. His opinions and points of view have appeared in leading media outlets including ABC, Bloomberg Businessweek, the Dallas Morning News, NBC, Reuters, New York Times, Wall Street Journal, the Washington Post, and the USA Today. So if you read or watch TV, you're going to see this guy represented in the public eye. So someone clearly who has been consulted and has the eye and the ear of many of our policymakers. Javier is also a seasoned public speaker, delivering numerous keynote speeches and panel discussions from some of the nation's most influential institutions and conferences, including the Republican National Conventions, the Democratic National Conventions, the Atlantic, the Millikan Institute, the George W. Bush Institute, the Ernst & Young, and the Kauffman Foundation. Javier serves on the FCC Federal Advisory Committee on Diversity, Comcast NBC Universal Diversity Advisory Council, the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Award Advisory Council, and the National 4-H Council Board of Trustees. He also serves in the Senate Task Force on Corporate Diversity and Inclusion. I don't know where this man finds time to do anything else because he has clearly been involved in so many things and is doing them very, very well. He's consistently appeared on Latino Leaders Magazine's 100 Most Influential list and was named one of the 75 most influential Hispanics in the top 100 Green CEOs by Poder magazine. Palomares was also provo by Spain's leading daily news outlet and was featured by the BBC, the British Broadcasting Corporation's 10 Latinos Who Made History in 2012. He's the recipient of the B'nai Zion Humanitarian of the Year Award, and in 2014 received an honorary doctorate from Westminster College, Utah's premier liberal arts institution. And in 2015, he was awarded the Distinguished Alumni Medallion from the National 4-H Council and was recognized most recently by the government of Mexico with the Otli Award, the highest honor bestowed upon foreign citizens. Most recently, Palomares appeared on the covers of Latino Magazine, Hispanic, Executive Latino Leaders, and Minority Business USA. Please, Donnelly community, join me in welcoming Javier Palomares to the podium with a welcome and a warm round of applause. Thank you.
Wow. With an introduction like that, even I would want to meet me. It sounds interesting. Good afternoon, everybody. I want to begin by thanking Miss Lisa Lombardi-Studoff for inviting me to celebrate Donnelly College's class of 2016. Please give yourselves a round of applause. You've earned it today. Absolutely. Congratulations. And thank you again for the wonderful introduction, Mr. Flanagan. You read it exactly the way that I wrote it, so I very much appreciate that. But seriously, as Chairman Flanagan said, I have the honor of representing 4.1 million Hispanic-owned businesses in this country that collectively contribute over $661 billion to our nation's economy every year. That's right. And while the USHCC represents the interests of businessmen and women who happen to be of Hispanic descent, we never forget that we are first and foremost American businesses. And every tax bill we pay, every job we create, every product we manufacture, and every service we provide goes to benefit our American economy. That's right. That's why the USHCC exists, to expand opportunities for emerging entrepreneurs, aspiring business leaders, and all of you, the next generation of successful professionals who will soon discover a world of boundless opportunity. However, in today's increasingly competitive world, organizations like ours cannot open doors of opportunity for your generation unless our schools place a world-class education within reach. And by all measure, Donnelly College has faithfully delivered on that commitment. For over half a century, this school has encouraged its students to observe the miraculous world around them and the moral code within. And the education that you've received here has given you the power to defy expectations and to prove to this world that today's millennials, that all of you, will be tomorrow's greatest generation. You've all accomplished something remarkable despite insurmountable odds. You are graduating with a spiritual compass and a refined character and the intellectual discipline to navigate through life's lowest valleys and its highest peaks. You are ready. So no matter what comes next, after today, you will always be part of Donnelly College, and it will always be part of you. Now, as I look around this room, I see ambitious faces, very young faces, by the way, at this age. I see hope. I see a future that shines brightly in the eyes of tomorrow's leaders. And believe it or not, and it is hard to believe, I was once young just like you. I know, hard to believe that. Don't let the white hair fool you. As I tell my wife, it doesn't matter what color it turns, so long as it doesn't turn loose. And like you, I too had dreams of completing my education and living a life that honored my family, a life devoted to something greater than myself. And were it not for the mentorship and prayer and support of good people, like the people at Donnelly, my dreams would have been left unrealized, unlived inside of me, buried beneath a rubble of hardship, loss, and adversity. You see, like many of you, I too come from very humble beginnings. I was raised in South Texas, the youngest of 10 children. My father left my family when I was 6 years old. So along with my mother and 9 siblings, for some time, we earned our living as migrant farm workers, picking crops by hand, tending to the field from sunrise to sunset, and going home to a one-room shack with no running water, a small butane stove as a kitchen, and an outhouse for a bathroom. I never imagined growing up as I did as the son of immigrants, learning English as a second language, and as a former high school dropout who eventually graduated, by the way, from the University of Texas, hook 'em. That's the last time I'll do that. I never imagined that I would find myself here, addressing the graduates of this wonderful institution and looking in your eyes and seeing through your eyes a future that I won't live to witness, but that I hope that I can influence, if just a little bit, through our time together today. So believe me when I tell you that I am truly humbled to be part of this very special day. And while I am a proud Texan, for some time I called Kansas home. And for several years when I was in corporate America, me and my family lived here. Now today, I spend my time traveling across the country, meeting with corporate executives, CEOs, ambassadors, senators, presidents, former presidents, future presidents, wannabe presidents, never gonna be presidents. And while I work with these people, I am not one of them. I am one of you. I'm cut from the same cloth. I am branded by the same hardship, and I'm sown by the same maker. And as I stand before you, I am more than half a century old. And I live in the sure and certain knowledge that no matter the challenges stacked against us, or how others might perceive us, we are all equal in God's eyes. And I also know that we were made to make a difference. You and I have a lot in common. We are just alike. And as I'm sure that the world around you has helped shape your outlook, the experiences that define my life have also taught me some important lessons. So today I'd like to share just 3 of those lessons with you. So let's get started. Lesson number 1, mindset is more important than skill set. Real success in life is not about luck. It is about managed thought, focused attention, and deliberate action. In other words, success starts with the right mindset. This principle is as simple as it is important. Think about this. Here at Donnelly, you've actually learned how to learn. And the resolve that you've shown to reach this special day proves that you already have an indomitable mindset. And the best part of this is that no one can ever take this from you. Now, for years, you've rightfully focused on earning a high GPA and attaining your degree. But in the reality that awaits you beyond these halls, those things will only take you so far. In the final analysis, it is your character, your faith, and your willpower. The very things that made this degree possible, those are the things that will carry you further in life than anything else. And you already have them. In your life and in your career, there will be countless times when you will be physically and intellectually spent. And yes, there will be times when you will be disappointed or even downright unhappy. But as Robert Holden once said, beware of the idea that happiness is in the next place, in the next job, or with the next partner. Until you give up on the idea that happiness is somewhere else, it will never be where you are. There will be plenty of obstacles in your way. Just make sure that you never allow yourself to become one of those obstacles. So I encourage you to never stop learning. Continue to build your knowledge. Continue to hone your skills. But remember that despite credentials, education, or pedigree, there will be times when your future will look uncertain, and the odds will be stacked against you, and your prospects will look bleak. And in those times, you must steel your mind. Remember who you are. Remember your faith. And set yourself for success. And remember that the only thing more important than your skill set is your mindset. Lesson number 2. Tell me who your friends are, and I will tell you who you are. There's an old Spanish adage that I grew up with. Dime con quién andas y te diré quién eres. You remember that one? Sound familiar? Tell me who your friends are, and I will tell you who you are. What exactly does that mean? Well, I think that it means our friends don't define us, they reveal us. Our friends are a window through which we see more deeply into ourselves. They are a silent affirmation of that which is best in us. They push your buttons, and they also push you to be better. They test your loyalty, and they offer you theirs. Friends are the family that we choose. And I would be remiss if I did not call out my family. First of all, my beautiful wife of 32 years, and I can't see her. I hope she's here. My wife, Rebecca. Becky, please stand. Hey, honey. And from my team in Washington, D.C., Devere Kutcher, our Senior Vice President of our foundation. Devere, please stand. Victoria Salsa, manager of our foundation. Please, Miss Victoria, stand. And finally, Kevin Hernandez, the director of our policy team in Washington, D.C. Kevin, please stand. Now, ladies, Kevin asked me to make sure to let all the ladies know that he is a single man. I'm just going to put that out there, and y'all, you're bright young people. Also part of my family, Miss Lisa Studoff and her husband, Anthony Studoff. Anthony, where are you? Please stand. I can't see Anthony. There you go. And Miss Lisa. All of these people mean something special to me. I'm proud to call them my friends, but I'm privileged to call them my family. And while I moved away from Kansas many years ago, to this day, the Studoff family is my family. Through those who are with us and those who have gone before, and those whose presence we miss every day, we are inextricably bound through love and through loss. The question is, though, how do you find these kinds of friendships? And I believe that you have to start with yourself. We must be our own before we can be another's. That's what Emerson once said. And the only way to have a friend is to be one. Let me assure you, in your life and in your career, there will be many twists and turns leading you in directions that you can't even imagine, even when you try to plan it all out. But your friends, if you choose them wisely and you treat them well, will be there for you no matter where life takes you. A good friend emboldens us to dig deeper, to set our sights higher, and to lead lives bigger than ourselves. Our friends are a reflection of who we are. Dime con quién andas y te diré quién eres. Tell me who your friends are, and I will tell you who you are. Which brings me to the third and I think most important lesson. Lesson number 3. Never measure wealth in dollars. I know a lot of people who try to find meaning in money, who try to define who they are by what they have. But I challenge you to measure wealth as having a purpose in life. Measure wealth in the number of lives that you've touched and the number of lives that have touched you. That is real wealth. Wealth is in the strength of the heart, a heart made richer and stronger by the number of memories, smiles, and tears that it has lived through. And perhaps the greatest wealth in your life will be your family or a life partner who celebrates with you during good times and lifts you up during the bad. Now, absolutely, you must learn to be financially responsible. Learn to earn, to invest, and to save. But never let a benefits package rule your career decisions. Always remember that money is a resource for living, not a reason for living. So on your journey, surround yourself with people who dream with you and who dream of you, who laugh with you but never at you, who cry for you, cry with you, and who every now and then bring a tear to your eye. Surround yourself with people like Lisa Studoff and Emily Buckley. Emily, where are you? Please stand. There she is. And Miss Lisa Studoff. These women remind us that you can make a living from what you get, but you make a life from what you give. These two women are the kind of people who help us realize that the purpose of life is to have a life of purpose, and that we should never measure wealth in dollars. So there it is. Simple, right? 3 things. In summary, always strive to keep the right frame of mind. Surround yourself with people who wish to see you succeed. And when you do succeed, never measure that success in dollars. And just like me, I know that when your future has looked uncertain, when the odds were against you, and when your prospects look bleak, you didn't give up. All of you have refused to be broken. For your courage, for your determination, and for your will, you deserve a round of applause. We are proud of you. I think there's 60 of you, I'm not sure. I think there's 60 of you graduating. I know that one day we will all marvel at the remarkable contributions that you've made to our country, the communities you've served, and the careers that you've built, and also the countless lives that you will touch. In fact, we're already amazed by what you've accomplished. In closing, please let me say this. Please remember that your faculty, your friends, and your family believe in you. So never stop believing in yourself. Now, I want you to stop, and I want you to look to your right. All of the graduates, look to your right. Your other right. Your other right. Come on, Donnelly, to your right. Now I want you to look to your left. Take this in. Think about this moment. Remember this day. Remember this very moment. Because one day very soon, this moment will have been a long, long time ago. You are all destined to surpass our accomplishments. I know every one of you will make us very proud. Quite frankly, you already have. Lux Vera, may you always walk in true light. Thank you again, class of 2016, and congratulations.
I know you've already received an honorary doctorate, so we don't have that to give, but it is our tradition here at Donnelly to remember our Benedictine roots with the sign of the Benedictine cross. And of course, you already made reference to our college motto and to our college crest. And so we have a Benedictine cross with the college crest and motto for you in a little token of thank you for just a phenomenal presentation to our graduating class. Thank you.
Thank you, Javier, for an inspiring speech. We'll now proceed to the conferring of degrees and certificates. Monsignor Swetland, Dr. Lane, upon recommendation of the Donnelly College faculty and the Kansas City, Kansas Public Schools, I certify that the following candidates have completed the requirements for high school graduation as prescribed by the state of Kansas and present these students for graduation.
I mentioned at the beginning of our program that our Gateway program is a joint program, so this is a wonderful opportunity to grant these degrees in a joint way. Now, by virtue of the authority vested with the Board of Directors of Donnelly College,
and by the state of Kansas,
we confer upon you the high school diploma for which you have been recommended, with all the rights, privileges, responsibilities, and obligations appertaining thereunto. And we offer our sincere congratulations.
I will now call the names of the students who are being presented their high school diplomas. Jasmine Herrera. Juliana Sanchez. Brandon Tilden.
Monsignor Swetland, upon recommendation of the Donnelly College faculty, I certify that the following candidates have completed the requirements for their certificate in practical nursing as prescribed by our faculty and present these candidates for graduation.
Now, by virtue of the authority vested with the Board of Directors of Donnelly College by the state of Kansas, I confer upon you the practical nursing certificate for which you have been recommended, with all the rights, privileges, responsibilities, and obligations appertaining thereunto, and I offer my sincere congratulations.
I will now call the names of the students who are being presented the practical nursing certificate. Anwar Al-Hanada. Veronica Kamal. Patrice Upton.
Monsignor Swetland, upon recommendation of the Donnelly College faculty, I certify that the following candidates have completed the requirements for Associate in Arts degrees as prescribed by our faculty and present these candidates for graduation.
Now, by virtue of the authority vested with the Board of Directors of Donnelly College by the state of Kansas, I confer upon you the Associate in Arts degree for which you have been recommended, with all the rights, privileges, responsibilities, and obligations appertaining thereunto, and I offer my sincere congratulations.
I will now call the names of the students who are being presented the Associate in Arts degree. Ahmed Al-Hamami. Jennifer Alvarez. Belaya Anarath. Leonardo Avila. Ashley Blevins. Tyrone Bridgewater. Sarai Cruz. Ashish Diallo. Rosa Pavel. Shavandra Fulkins. Austin Garrett. Shalenda Gunnels. Gabrielle Harris. Chitra Kadka. Jose Lopez. Adrian Morales. Caitlin O'Reilly. Shelly Rivera. Martha Rodriguez Torres. Jennifer Rudiaga. LaCherish Thompson. Zawadi Twizel. Luis Seglio Carvajal. Jonathan Vallejo. Sean Cepeda. Jorge Dominguez. Saraswati Parga. Jesus Renteria. Juan Rodriguez. Alejandro Sandoval. Danielle Siguenza. Dolce Sosa Cabral.
Monsignor Swetland, upon recommendation of the Donnelly College faculty, I certify that the following candidate has completed the requirements for the Bachelor of Applied Science in Organizational Leadership degree as prescribed by our faculty, and I present this candidate for graduation.
Now, by virtue of the authority vested with the Board of Directors of Donnelly College by the state of Kansas, I confer upon you the Bachelor of Applied Science in Organizational Leadership degree for which you have been recommended with all the rights, privileges, responsibilities, and obligations appertaining thereunto, and I offer my sincere congratulations.
I will now call the name of the student who is being presented the Bachelor of Applied Science in Organizational Leadership. Roberta Luna.
Monsignor Swetland, upon recommendation of the Donnelly College faculty, I certify that the following candidate has completed the requirements for the Bachelor of Arts in Organizational Leadership degree as prescribed by our faculty and present this candidate for graduation.
Now, by virtue of the authority vested with the Board of Directors of Donnelly College by the state of Kansas, I confer upon you the Bachelor of Arts in Organizational Leadership degree for which you have been recommended, with all the rights, privileges, responsibilities, and obligations appertaining thereunto. And I offer my sincere congratulations.
I will now call the names of the students who are being presented the Bachelor of Arts in Organizational Leadership. Serena Brown. Juan Garcia.
Monsignor Swetland, upon recommendation of the Donnelly College faculty, I certify that the following candidate has completed the requirements for Bachelor of Science in Information Systems degree as prescribed by our faculty and present this candidate for graduation.
Now, by virtue of the authority vested with the Board of Directors of Donnelly College by the state of Kansas, I confer upon you the Bachelor of Science in Information Systems degree for which you have been recommended, with all the rights, privileges, responsibilities, and obligations appertaining thereunto. And I offer my sincere congratulations.
I will now call the name of the student who is being presented the Bachelor of Science in Information Systems, Diego Payan.
Monsignor Swetland, upon recommendation of the Donnelly College faculty, I certify that the following candidates have completed the requirements for the Bachelor of Science in Elementary Education degree as prescribed by our faculty and present these candidates for graduation.
Now, by virtue of the authority vested with the Board of Directors of Donnelly College by the state of Kansas, I confer upon you the Bachelor of Science in Elementary Education degree for which you have been recommended, with all the rights, privileges, responsibility, and obligations appertaining thereunto. And I offer my sincere congratulations.
I will now call the names of the students who are being presented the Bachelor of Science in Elementary Education. Deidre Hood. Denise Suarez Gomez.
I would ask all of our graduates to please stand. Let us show them our appreciation for their hard work. Graduates, you may now transfer your tassels to the left side of your cap to signify that today you join the group of outstanding men and women who proudly wear the badge of Donnelly College alumni. Please be seated. Dear graduates, during your time at Donnelly College, you have often heard us directly or indirectly encouraging you to become the best versions of yourselves. Your achievement today shows us that you have heard and heeded our call. Thank you for saying yes to God's power to form and transform you. Today is a celebration of the steps you have already made in your journey. We, your family, friends, faculty, staff, directors, and mentors all wish to bless you and wish you God's speed in your vocations. Today's celebration also marks, as you heard from our outstanding commencement speaker and from the other speakers today, marks the beginning of your time as alumni of Donnelly College. Today marks your entry into that august group of alumni, sons and daughters of your alma mater, Donnelly College. You will always be a vital part of Donnelly, as Javier said to you, and Donnelly will be a vital part of you. Please remember us in your prayers as we will you each day at Holy Mass. Keep us informed of the different twists and turns your pilgrimage through life life takes you, for we wish to celebrate with you your successes and to comfort you and aid you in your difficulties or tragedies that may come your way. Now, I'm supposed to say here that we are also a fully tax-deductible contribution for your future salaries, but you already know that. It is with great joy that I see you leave. Some of you I know are staying to complete other degrees with us, and we're very happy to welcome you to the next level of your education. But know that you have really made the faculty and staff of Donnelly, our board of directors, and all who are here with us today so proud of what you've been able to do. And we know this is only the beginning. My friends, this concludes our commencement exercise with one more thing. We will ask our Archbishop, Most Reverend Joseph Naumann, who has been leading us in the Archdiocese in Kansas City, Kansas for over 10 years, to offer us his benediction. Please stand.
Before we pray, I just want to thank Monsignor and the faculty for all that they do. We're very proud of Donnelly College. It's a very integral part of the Archdiocese, but you are the ones who make it what it is. And as we heard our speakers today, a land of opportunity, a lighthouse, a world-class education for our students. So we thank you and salute you for your hard work. And let us bow our heads and pray. Javier, I don't have much gray hair. Mine fell out. Lord, we ask your blessing on our graduates today. We thank you for the ways in which you've been with them through these years at Donnelly. And we ask you to be with them in the years ahead, to help them to be a light for others, to help them to draw others to see your love and your goodness within themselves. We ask you to help them to grow wealthy by truly making a difference in the world. We ask your blessing on their family and friends, all those that have supported them, help them to achieve this step in their development. And we ask your blessing, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen.
This concludes our 2016 commencement exercises. Please remain standing as the platform guests, faculty, staff, and graduates recess. Thank you.